Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of traditional draft of Brothers War, and it's an easy pick here, very good rare here. In limited, if you had a choice between Luminarch Aspirant and Siege Veteran, you might even prefer this thing. It costs one more mana, but it has additional use by creating those soldier tokens when other soldiers die. Anyway, both are amazing bombs. In limited, this is easy first pick. Another point in this pack is that these two uncommons are really good as well. I would take the Stone Seeker over the Officer because the evasion is very nice, and the temporary Power Stone can be still very beneficial if the opponent doesn't immediately get rid of the Stone Seeker. So it's a very easy second pick from this pack. So it's a strong pack overall, and I would be happy to open such a pack in sealed because it has very good red-white deck contents, because there's also the cohort here, there's an Unleash Shell. Yeah, very nice for red-white. Anyway, I'll take the good rare here, and let's hope to be able to stay on course based on the packs that are passed to me. Alright, so this rare isn't good because thing is, it always looks at only top 7. Top 7 actually is quite a lot, but it only works with artifacts and creatures that have mana value 3 or less. Now, you have 40 cards in your deck, around 16, 17 are lands, and then how many of those spells, which there are, let's say 23 spells, how many of them can be 3 mana or less artifacts or creatures? Thing is, this is often going to be only hitting, you even see only maybe like 1 or 2. You are lucky to see any more than that, so it's a pretty risky card. You have to pay more mana than you get out of it, I think. With that said, what is the pick in here? I don't actually like. Okay, I do like the Wing Commando. It is in fact, I think, quite easy to pick here. Blue White is a very good archetype as well, and the Phalanx Vanguard is the kind of card that I can get later. I'm not a big fan of these expensive prototype flyers, because the prototype, well, the hard cast cost is very expensive, and the prototype is fairly, unexciting for its mana cost. Okay, so Thanos is not very good. There's like a few, at least one bird at common and some beast, I'm sure there's in the set, but it's just a, I mean, this could easily be a 4 mana 3/5, and I don't think it still would be that amazing in limited, but you are overpaying for the ability, because 5 mana 3/5 is unexciting. This is not a good card. I could take a disenchant here because I really want to play white here thanks to the Siege Veteran. There's stuff like Disfigure, Evolving Wilds, which are also things that catch my eye. And there's the Weak Stones Subjugation, which is good too, but I take the Disenchant because I really want to stick to white here because of the power of this one rare. Well, based on this pack, I might not be able to continue with that route. But I have a good pick here. The rare is of course unplayable. It costs 10 mana, which you can't even fuel with Power Stones. You can cast it for 7 mana on your own turn, but you're gonna lose the game if you do that. Opponent gets the first opportunity to play their recast their stuff, and yeah, it's just not not a very good play on your own turn. Alright, Wing Commando second pick is quite easy. This is just a mana rock that costs 3 mana, so not really exciting. Yeah, I like the Warplow. Like in my previous draft, I had several of these and they were very decent because of the flexibility. Alright, let's take the Wing Commando. Hopefully, okay, same rare twice. Hopefully I can be blue-white, but if I need to change some of my colors, I'm willing to do that. This pack has like Shoot Down, which is a good green card. These red cards are playable but not exciting. Yeah, I think I'll take them. I don't know though, the Might Stones animation it can be really good, but you have to have a decent amount of targets. I don't like the military discipline. It's a little bit. I mean, I guess it can work with the Wing Commandos, get a nice prowess trigger. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm willing to try it. The animation really needs a lot of artifacts, and I'm not sure if blue and white can do that. Let's try the trick. I don't usually pick these kind of cards. Hey, we have this duplicate kind of bad race. Funny stuff, but oh well. Yeah, so yeah, let's try this. I think the Mightstone's animation, if that was the card's name, the thing that requires an artifact target, it might not be at its best in a blue-white deck. As you can see, I have no artifacts here. I can take here the Ambush Paratrooper. I do like it more than the Air Marshal. So let's do that. Right. A fairly big pack. There's another shoot down for green, but I do like the Wing Commando a lot. I think I'll stick to the blue-white for now. I'm not going to deviate by taking a shoot down, and I'm not taking the Adept hero. So I think I could take either the Defabricate, which is more like a sideboard card, or the Soul Guide Lantern, which is a nice prowess trigger. Maybe I get more of those. I'm not sure if I'm too interested in it, but I haven't really used this Defabricate a lot. Okay, I'm gonna take the Lantern, mostly because I do have a doubled Wing Commando, and you want to have some ways to, to trigger the prowess. Alright, Recommission, I think it's very decent, especially with the Wing Commandos and the Siege Veteran, which are very nice cards to bring back. You get basically a 3 mana card. If you happen to hit one of these in your graveyard, you have a 3 mana card for 2 mana, and also it gets an additional counter, which is maybe even worth like at least half a mana. Alright, so let's take it. Only 2 blue cards though. I still could change the second color. I think white starts to be pretty easy inclusion. This deck won't really get to 9 mana, and I'm not gonna play a 6 mana 6/6. I'm gonna take actually the Thraxo Demon just in case I have to, move to black. Yeah, no one took the Reconstruction for a good reason. It's not very good. Epic Confrontation is good though, so I suppose I'll take that because it's the best card, and I might, also move to green here. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a rare here for 20 gems. Doesn't really matter which one of these. Neither of these will be played. Is there a matchup where I'm gonna sideboard this in? I don't know. Let's take it just for fun. Right, let's take more 20 gems here. There's the Paul Bearer, which is, I guess, playable, but it's very unlikely I'm gonna play it in this kind of deck. Hey, I got a lot of 20 gems here. They are not currently 20 gems because I haven't completed the set, but that's what they will eventually become. Oh, the Fairy. Well, you know what? I might be blue-white after all. It's very hard to not play the Fairy. I'm gonna force blue-white from now on. Unless, I switch white into something else, but I'm not sure I want to do that because I also have the Siege Veteran here. Yeah, this is easy pick. I might get the Lay Down Arms back if I have like a 9 planes. This can get rid of 2 or 3 mana creatures for 1 mana. Could be worth it, but of course this is a very easy pick. Let's not dwell on it any further, and let's cut the black and green cards because it's very unlikely that I'm gonna deviate from my course here. Okay, another mythic rare that's uncolored and it's amazing. Just an Anthem effect, and then, at 6 mana you can even remove something, so wow. What are the first 2 picks in this pack were? That was some crazy stuff. Someone took a regular uncommon from this, but it's understandable if they are not in white, so I don't want to red draft. Good for me. Nice one. Okay, I'm gonna be absolutely blue-white. There's no question about it. There's no world where I'm gonna actually deviate from this set of cards I have here. Alright, so here I could take Scatter Ray, the Cavalry, Courier, Thopter, maybe even a supply drop, but probably not. What do I need most here? I do have a bunch of soldiers, of course, because I'm blue-white. All 4 of my creatures are soldiers, so the Cavalry seems pretty decent. Scatter Ray, not too interesting. I guess I like this because in blue-white it's very easy to almost guarantee the +1/+1 counter, so let's take it. Take it here now, and what do we see here? Yep, early drops. I actually want, but there's also Wing Commando. Okay, then. I mean, can I choose to not take the Wing Commando here? I really want to have those 2 drops, but I mean, this flyer is just better than these 2. Maybe I would maybe even play like an Ashnot Harvester here just to have something on turn 2. There's also the Scatter Ray. Is there a chance that 1, 2, 3, 4, one of these 4 cards comes back to me when it's pick number, what, 12? It's unlikely, but yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna take the rare. I think I'll see. I'm gonna take the Wing Commando here still. Refractor. Well, I don't know. Someone might take the Refractor. Who knows? But that had some 2-drops I'm happy to have if I get the option to pick them. Alright. So take flight versus recommission. I actually wouldn't mind another recommission now that I have 3 Wing Commandos and the Siege Veteran, which are like the prime targets. You really want to be able to find exactly 3 mana card because you always pay 2 mana for this thing, so you kind of get a little bit bigger creature if you have a 3 mana body in your graveyard. But take flight is, well, I have some flyers, but I still will have most likely the 2-drops that I'm gonna fill in with this deck. This deck with is going, they are gonna not fly, so I'll take this because it's pretty good, and you can't just put this on a flyer. Oh, using Tactician, will that be the pick? There's a disenchant too. I think I passed in some other pack a disenchant, but it wasn't as good option than the card I picked because I didn't even mention that. I only remember seeing it, but I didn't even mention it. Alright, take the Tactician. That's of course exactly the thing I want to have here. Now I'm gonna just take any 2-drop. And yep. Gain a disenchant. I also like the riposte in this kind of flyer deck because opponent will try to beat me in the ground while I have flyers myself, so this can be the life, and the 2 mana removal can be quite good. Still disenchant is disenchant, but man, I actually care about the riposte in this specific kind of deck. It's really tough. I mean, I actually think this is better than the second disenchant. If it was my first disenchant, probably I would take that. Here I will just take the escape over the rebuff. Both are, I think, sideboard cards, and I like the cheaper option more. Sideboard cards, this is especially against decks that have a lot of removal. I'll take the Scatter Ray now. It's not really great with these prowess creatures, but it might still be something I need to cast on turn 2 if I don't find enough creatures. But I'm willing to also cut this card. So, out of my 8 creatures, all 8 are soldiers. That's good for my, my synergies here. Another Scatter Ray, a Supply Drop. The Supply Drop is actually interesting with Triple Wing Commando. I don't think I'm gonna play 2 Scatter Rays. I don't wanna be too reactive with this deck. So I'm gonna take the Supply Drop. Not gonna necessarily play it, but I'm gonna take it. And here I can take the Scatter Ray. This was the one that had all the 2-drops. Well, I mentioned Scatter Ray among them. This isn't the worst in this kind of deck, actually. Well, I just said I'm not gonna place 2 Scatter Rays, so let's take the equipment, because when I equip only 1, and in this deck it most likely will be always that, so it's fine. Yep. How about now any bomb race? Not this time. I only got two very good mythics, the Planeswalker and the in the trenches, and then the very good rare here. This format is of course has maybe a little bit too many mythic, high quality bomb rares and mythics than I would like, but what can you do? Alright, so there's another cavalry here. I don't need to play the desynchronize here. I could have my 5-drop plug being like 2 cavalries and a Teferi, because I'm not sure if I care about anything else in this pack. It's a very weak pack actually for me, but let's take the 5-drop. And I'm gonna cut the desynchronize right away. I have exactly 3 artifacts in here, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna play all of them. So the Loran is probably pretty bad here. Wow, this pack is bad for me. I suppose I'm at 20 playable, so I'm not too concerned. Might have some stuff like Loran's Escape that I could still play. Alright, so this is only target enchantment. Well, I guess I can bring back the fairy, but this doesn't target creatures unless they happen to be, of course, artifact creatures. I don't think I'm gonna play any of these stuff. Let's take the Burnished Heart or something like that. Okay, come on, 2 drops, please. No, not another 5-drop. I don't think I'm gonna main deck this many cavalries. 2 plus the 30 is enough 5 drops for me, I'm pretty sure. How about the Survival of Corlys? Stern Lesson, I just don't really need the Power Stone token for many things. I have some activated abilities, yes. But I don't know if this is the kind of deck. I have also 11 non-creatures. I need creatures here. So it's gonna be the 1 drop or the 5 drop, which I might, sideboard in, for instance. Let's take the 1 drop. This can actually be good against the decks that have, X1s, because this obviously, being 1/1 first striker, you can just block them easily. I don't really feel like I need another 3 drop flyer here. It can get me a plains or a creature with cheap stats, or cheap mana cost, but I think I have enough stuff in the 3 drop slot. I would really prefer 2 drops, and this is all just to explain that I'm actually taking the Sundering Titan here. I wanna complete the retro artifacts, and the retro mythics are very rare, so I'm gonna take it here because the other option is the Chaplain, and I think I can live without it. So this is just I'm not gonna play the 8 drop here, but it is just a red draft. Alright, so here I would play in this kind of deck, a Coastal Bulwark. It will be a 3/3, it blocks nicely, and I can fly in the air, and it can protect my Planeswalker. But there's a Soul Partition, which I'm gonna take. It's like a bounce spell, which functions very similarly to a bounce spell, but it will tax the paying of the spell by 2 if it targets opponent stuff. I can also save my own stuff and recast them without the penalty, so it's a pretty good tempo play. And here, okay, I'm gonna take the Vanguard. I'm actually sad that I didn't see these guys earlier. I need more 2 drops, but I'm happy I got one now. And okay, Legions to Ashes. I'm not gonna splash for black. Yeah, I don't have that many 2 drops here. I'm just thinking if can I play the Stern Lesson, because I don't think this card is very good if you don't need the Power Stone, and this deck has very few uses for it. I'm actually gonna take this thing just for red draft purposes. I don't need 2 Lorance Escapes, it's very unlikely I have room to sideboard 2 of those in. Alright, so this is interesting because there is a Lay Down Arms, which I could be using in this deck, but there's also a Mind Worker, which is a 2 drop, and I think I do need them. And the life gain 2 drop isn't even that bad when I have a race situation. If this cannot block, or it can jump block at some point at least, and in the meanwhile it can gain me life, so I'm gonna take it over the 1 drop removal. Yeah, not gonna need any of these, not gonna play 2 supply drops, I'll just take the uncommon for vault value. The same applies here, I'm guessing. Yep, can't really play those things. Depth, Charge Colossus, well, I mean, if I need a 6/6, I guess I'm gonna take it over. No, a card that provides only vault progress. This could be a sub card I'm gonna sideboard in. Okay. I maybe need the creature over the counter spell, but can't say I'm too happy about having this kind of a creature, but whatever. Okay, I got the Bulwark. I'm happy about that. And here this can well, I'm gonna use this more likely than, I mean, I probably won't use it, but the equipment is something I don't really have any need for. Okay, so pack 2 went extremely well. I first picked the Teferi and then got immediately passed in the trenches, but pack 3 was a disappointment. I also got a Tactician at some point. Was it in pack 2 or where it was? Anyway, I'm not too happy about how the pack 3 went. My 2 drops. Well, let's see. Cut the lands for now. I'm gonna play 17 lands, I'm pretty sure of that. So, well, in the end, I have 5 creature plays for turn 2. I think the Survival of Corlys is more like a sideboard card. Yeah, it is. And then Military Discipline, I was willing to try it because of this, the synergy with Prowess. It's basically +2/+1 when I target a Wing Commando, or if I target something else, the Wing Commander still gets the Prowess trigger. So let's see now, 13 creatures, 10 of which are soldiers, so my cavalries will be finding targets. This will pump a lot of my creatures. So this is not a soldier, the Bulwark is in the soldier, and the Savant is in the soldiers. I don't really want to go too low on creatures, but well, this a recommission is kind of a creature, right? Because, for example, the pump effect is of course not so great when you don't have a lot of creatures to pump. Soul Guide, Lantern, Discipline. Yeah, I have the kind of the kind of stuff that I can easily cut here. I think the 1-drops are the most likely cuts here. Right? I want to main deck 1 Disenchant for sure. The Riposte is fine. The Scatter Ray is, also a play for turn 2 if I don't find these 5 creatures. So yeah, basically the Lantern's function is to, well, maybe dig to my bomb. Sometimes you can exile a relevant card from the opponent's graveyard, but it will trigger the prowess. But I have only 3 prowess creatures. It is not like a blue-red deck. Of course, a blue-red deck would have more triggers for casting non-creature spells. So I think the Lantern goes away. I might sideboard it in if the graveyard hate part is like very relevant. Then it functions as grave hate and also prowess trigger, I suppose. And then the Discipline. I kind of want to try it though. I think this deck also wants to play the Power Blade. The only nasty part is that its actual mana cost is 3 mana, so only on turn 4 I can use it like play and equip. But after that, equipping is fairly cheap with only 1 white mana for most of my creatures. And then I can also use 2 mana to equip the few non-soldier creatures I have. So I kind of want to try this thing, but what am I not gonna play in that case? I guess the third Path Savant is the weakest creature here by far. I mean, I guess the Mindworker is weakest, but this is most likely a vanilla 2/3, and it's not even a soldier to synergize with. I guess my turn 3 plays are the Siege Veteran, the 3 flyers, and then there's still like the In the Trenches and the Power Blade, which I can also play on turn 3, even though the Power Blade alone won't do anything, but it's at least a mana spent on that turn, if that's the best option. So I'm actually going to play only with 12 creatures, plus a recommission that can bring some of this stuff back. I have only 3 creatures. Well, let's say this way, I have 9 creatures this can bring back. So I shouldn't be having too much trouble with having this stuck in my hand. This is also an artifact or creature, so I mean I can bring back a supply drop, for instance, if for some reason it ends up in my graveyard. I mean, it can end up, of course, in a very late game, but it's not very likely. Alright, so this is the main deck. Yeah, back 3 could have made this a little bit better. For example, just having like a 2/2 vigilance rather than, well, I don't know. It's not that much better than the Mindworker, I guess. This has the gain life option. Well, let's stop the talking and just see how it goes. But I'm a creature light for sure. That is right. That is right. Okay. Anyway, how many of which? Because it's gonna be a 9/8 mana base. Double white at 3, double blue at 5, and I have more white cards than blue cards, so it's pretty easily going to be 9/8. Plus the Power Blade might actually tax my white mana a little bit, so I do want to have 2 planes out ASAP. So let's have 9 of these planes, and what should we have for islands? This Wizard Tower or whatever. Okay, so that's a blue-white deck with some soldier synergies here. Let's see how it goes. Okay, that's a decent hand on the draw, but it's fine. So I can just play the Vanguard. Well, unless they play something that makes me want to play the Bulwark instead. So they're gonna pick a land. Okay, they picked a planes, so I can play the 2/2. And actually this, when I play the Bulwark, it will make this into a 3/2, so this will trade if they play a 3 toughness creature, I can trade with it. I of course have these things, so I don't really want to lose my only soldier, but okay, that's gonna be awkward in a late game situation, but Doesn't really change my place right now. Because as you can pause and read it. So whenever artifacts enter their control, they get some kind of value of it. Okay, that's no artifact, but given they have this thing, I assume they will have artifact stuff going on. So am I supposed to just play the partition on that thing right now, just to kind of buy time, attack for 2? I can then surveil for the remaining 2 mana, and although that's not actually what I want to do. I want them to play an artifact actually and make this fly. Then I can use the Deadly Riposte and then Surveil. And I can still use Soul Partition on their turn. So let's do it like this. Ideally they actually do attack with the Architect now. But they make it fly. Maybe if they play like a big 5-drop, I can Riposte it. Sorry, Soul Partition it. Okay, another. Okay, they do have the artifact synergies, but nothing really going on there. Yeah, that can go away. And any reason to play the partition? I don't really see any reason to do that. Okay, that's a lot of lands. Well, let's do this, and I have now a 3/3. They can triple block with the Seekers, and I can only. I mean, I wouldn't mind trading with the Architect. If they block with that and something, yeah, that's fine. If they triple block with the Seekers and the Prowler, do I want to eat the Prowler and 1 Seeker? I guess it's fine. There's not much use for this guy anyway. Because I have a 3/3 blocker on the ground anyway, so I don't really need a second one right now. Okay, they did that thing, so I can just do like this. At least they won't get multiple triggers from these Seekers when they finally get an artifact. They won't be able to fly now because I have the Cavalry, so I don't expect to. Okay, so that's another very good payoff for artifacts, but how many artifacts they have? Maybe they just, play all the payoffs first. Hey, this is a lot of lands. I even milled one in some state. So this is a cast trigger. No, it's an ETB, so I can actually respond to an artifact on stack by soul partitioning it. Oh, let's attack for a little bit here. Okay, I need to start drawing non-lands. It's now 9 lands seen in the top 14. Well, I guess that means only 8 lands remain and 18 spells. Prison Sentence. So I can actually soul partition that thing and recast it. And I don't want to give them the Scry, so let's do it like this. Yes, I want to target my own thing. They don't have an attack, and I have a Surveil here. Okay, wow, how many lands in a row that was? Wow, was that like 5 or 6 lands in a row? Not even gonna bother waiting for a soldier here. Jeez. What? So that's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 11 lands. I have 6 lands and 18 spells left here. Okay, they get their stuff now with triggers. That actually requires black to return back. So are they 3-color deck? Well, they Sarint does its thing, so don't know if you see it there, but if it's a land card, they may put it on your hand. If it's not a land, they can mill it. So they had an opportunist, which is actually another artifact trigger. But I guess they. Okay, let's see how many lands can I still find from the top of my deck. Now that's not a land, and that's a really good card. Okay, so I guess if they can't answer with the Cavalry, I'll win with it in a couple of turns, but we'll see. Wow, what is this? They had so many cards in their hand and 4 lands, 2 colors. And they chose to mill this thing, so they could have gotten a Power Stone token, get all the triggers from the token, but I guess that still didn't answer the question of Iron Out Cavalry. Huh. Okay. So I don't even know, are they black? Because this thing requires black. This is as a 1 mana 1/2 artifact creature. Is it worth it? I guess if you have a lot of these triggers, it might be worth it. But maybe they actually have black in their deck and all the spells in their hand were black or something. Okay, so Lawrence Escape. It is a good target. Good counter to Epic Confederation that I see here and a Prison Sentence. So maybe I can have it. And instead of have it like instead of the Military Discipline, which might not be that relevant maybe. I mean, I'm not going to cut any more creatures, so it's gonna be the Discipline. Desynchronize, good. Well, I don't think I want to have another 5-drop. This is fine. Let's use this. Well, I'm gonna keep it. I do want to hit my lands though for the 5-drops, but at least I have something to do in the meanwhile. Okay, I really want to hit the lands for the 4-drop as well. I do have 2 things I can cast with the mana I have, and of course I can also cast the Recommission if one of these ends up in my graveyard. So now they get any color of mana. Good, land is great. Let's play the 2/2, it's possible. They don't have a good block on it. This only attacks for 1, so I'm not that convinced it's the greatest turn to play. If there's a chance that this might be able to connect. Oh, they're gonna sentence that guy. Well, it's sentenced. Maybe they want this Scry or something, I don't know. Seems a weird target. Maybe they have a lot of removal there. Man, if I had a land in my hand. Well, I'm still gonna play the Paratrooper here, because this would be the more mana efficient play, but I wanna play something that can actually attack. And if I draw a land, I can, you know, equip, play and equip. Sure, that's a little bit annoying thing, but let's see what I draw. It's not the worst actually, because it can block the 1/1 at least. I only take 3 here. And if it dies, hopefully they don't have another sentence for it, but if it dies I can recommission it as a 3/3, but I do need some lands for the 5-drops here. Okay, well let's make them use that trick. Supply drop. No, not a bad one. But that had to be spent. And now I can at least play the recommission if nothing else. Okay, land is really good. And yeah, again the mana efficient play is to just play the Power Blade thing. But I don't necessarily care about it too much. I mean about mana efficiency here. I'll just get more board presence. Now if I don't draw the 5th land, I can just do the Power Blade thing. I'm not doing this thing yet. Okay, they don't attack with the 1/1 anymore, that's good. Okay, Chapline is at most a 2/2. They can bring back like the Dissident. Do they have a time for that? So they can take any of these actually back. They can take the planes or one of the 2-drops. I would assume if they take a 2-drop, it's gonna be the green-white one, but let's see if they wanna have a 2/2. Because they can choose to not take anything and then this will become a 2/2 thanks to the counter. They took the... okay, so they maybe need like lands or something. Although this doesn't really help you get more lands. Well, it gets them faster, but yeah, this is fine. Especially because I draw the 5th land and now I can again do this thing. So this is one of the draft formats that actually has a relevant blue-white flyers archetype. I think Streets of New Capenna was the previous one. There wasn't really in Baldur's Gate, I don't think, and there definitely wasn't in Dominaria United, a flyer, focused blue-white. But this deck, this format has a very clear blue-white flyers archetype. With these things in my hand, I don't actually care about my draws. Even if they are like 5 lands in a row, I should be able to maybe wrap things up with the cards in my hand. Of course, if they have like some massive bomb raid or something, it will turn the tide, but of course they don't have much going on. Okay, but that actually makes this creature die. That was really desperate. I guess they can attack for what, 3? Well, they can unearth that, yeah, that's for sure. The unearth is only 3, so they will attack for 6. And they get these triggers too. Yeah, it's not... But that's only milling a 2-drop, and then they mill a Warblow. I guess that's also playable without the swamps in the deck. Plus they have the refractor if they want. Okay, so I need to be a little bit careful. They have 4 power in the ground, and they might have like pump effects, but of course I myself have a 2-turn clock in here. So let's just do this. And I can, you know, block with the cavalry. And if they use tricks to, you know, deal with it, I still win. Although that doesn't actually apply in the situation where they leave the airlift captain to block. I have lethal now through the captain currently because I can play the power blade, for instance. Oh, that's gonna be, but that's only 3 life. They couldn't cast it for 7, so they are at 10 now. Okay, but that's enough for this to not be lethal when they jump block one of the flyers. Because I had, of course, ability to make 2 of my flyers. Well, actually all of them hit for 4 thanks to the paratrooper, but even casting the power blade would have done that. Okay, soul partition means I win the game, right? Yeah, it does. So they are tapped out and all that. Yep, you can have that back. And I don't need to do anything else here. It's just gonna be an exact 10. Yep. But I wanted to, you know, calculate. If I just go to combat and click all attack or attack all, and then I'm 1 damage short, when I had, you know, both these ways to generate more power for my guys, I would be very sad. So I mean, I don't want to, you know, bad manner in these situations too much and wait for like a half a minute when I have the clear lethal, but I do need to make sure that I have actually the lethal because I have ways to, you know, enhance these guys. Well, that was a pretty straightforward. They actually had swamps in their deck because they just picked 1 there. So they are most likely like splashing maybe the ability to cast this thing for 2 and what was the other black thing? The thing that can be returned from the graveyard. Okay, got to be on the play and it's acceptable hand. I might even, you know, use the discipline on the air marshal. It's not the greatest when it's gonna be a 3-1, but it can make itself jump if that's really the best use for mana. And I guess I can, you know, take flight it then at some point. It would be a 4-1 flyer, but I may be going a little bit too far with it. I mean, things can change during the game, but I guess that's some kind of a game plan. Alright, so they're gonna attack with the officer. I'm gonna... No, they are not. Well, let's do the riposte thing then. I mean the discipline thing. It will get first strike for a turn, so let's see. They're gonna block with the engineer, but it's kind of inevitable. It's gonna die in the end. Because what I want to happen here is that they will attack with the officer and then I can get rid of it with the riposte. And then next turn, if they, for example, tap out, I can play the take flight and make my guy attack for 4, and then at least I draw 1 card, so if it gets dealt with, then it is. Oh, they're actually not going to... Oh, I know now, because of course they can block now with the recruitment officer. Hey, why didn't you play anything? So, take flight is of course too risky now, I can't do that. They are only planning to use this thing now. Wow. Super annoying. They actually do have time for that because I didn't have a 2-drop on the previous turn. I'm not going to lose my 3-1 in the trade. They can't just use this all the time, can they? I think I'm gonna just play this and say go. Yeah, I mean, next turn I can at least use this ability for 3 or something. It's top 4, it's very easy to find a 3 mana card or cheaper. I mean, it's a creature of course only, but a cheap creature from top 4 is not that hard. Okay, they choose not to play with that thing. So is that how they're gonna play? Are they going to actually... I'm gonna make this guy fly now. And I don't care about trading with the Mind Worker. I mean, that is the best thing I have going on, because I have no more creatures to play here. So, what are they gonna do? Block. Save it. Not yet. They could still have the 1 mana trick that gives indestructible. They didn't... Okay, that was good. They didn't hit with the other activation. So basically they used 8 mana to find a 2-1. I'm not too concerned. But I mean, they must have a ton of playables. Was that really the best use for 4 mana? Oh, I see. They gain a bunch of life now. Alright, alright. I guess it's time to get my 1 card from the Take Flight. Okay, finally they actually tapped out, so I can do it. I can do it now. Should leave it like this. Okay, 1 card. And hopefully they don't answer it. I mean, they have 5 cards in their hand, so I'm pretty sure they will find an answer. And I'm not gonna riposte this thing. Not gonna give them other Power Stone tokens. Yep, that will exile it. It is exiled. And now I need to draw creatures. It deals 3 to a tapped creature. Okay, so that won't be tapped. I really don't want to use it on the engineer. Hey, come on, deck. I'm playing 17 lands. I'm again at 8 lands and 6 spells. That is horrible. And they haven't presented a good target for the riposte. I mean, I'm not gonna target that thing. Disenchant? Well, sure. How many times I'm gonna take 4 damage before they actually... Okay. Yeah, I don't like it. I might have to riposte the stupid engineer. I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. But I have nothing. I mean, I have to do it. Well, I mean, I don't have to, but I really don't want to go to 13. Maybe I don't still find a creature or something. At least this buys me more time. Oh, that's actually only -1 damage, because this will get the trigger from that. That's no target for my Disenchant either. Is this one of the matchups where I'm gonna discard a Disenchant? Wow. This is ridiculous. I know I have only 12 creatures, but hey, I have drawn 2 creatures in my top 16 cards. I still have like almost a third of my deck creatures. Scatter Ray, very useful with those Power Stone tokens. This is a joke. This is a joke. I mean, the match 1 went so well, so I should have some trouble now. Isn't that only fair? Even a Teferi is unlikely to save me. The Scatter Ray, they will have the mana for that, so it's not gonna do much. Okay, Wing Commando. At least if they have a Scatter Ray, I can pay for it. They can counter a supply drop though with a Scatter Ray. But I guess it doesn't matter, because I do have the, you know, the prowess anyway. So let's check out the thing that can actually cause the guys to fly. That's getting bounced. Well, that gets bounced then. Yeah. I take 2 here. That's gladly only target creature you control, because if I was forced to target one of their guys, I would hate it. Okay, not gonna be able to Scatter Ray that, because they do have the Power Stones there. Don't have mana for this thing either. Okay, that's a little bit too late for In the Trenches. I can actually play and exile something from there, but... I mean, I guess I'm gonna do it like this, and then... Well, I mean, I'm gonna play this anyway. I have a disenchant and a scatter ray up if they are somehow relevant. Disenchant is, I mean, I can target the power stone just to get a prowess trigger, I guess. But I mean, I'm gonna die if they can pump their one of their unblocked creatures here. That's, yep, game over. Well, good to know they have an involuntary thing there, but yeah, wow, disenchant, get the heck out of here. Discipline, not so good as the escape in this case. And what else? I should put something in because I got the disenchant without replacing it yet. Maybe even the onolet. I didn't find a... I mean, I saw a third of these, but I didn't pick it. Because in this matchup, I would play a third cavalry here for sure. I could also play Sundering Titan because, you know, we have the same basic lands. I wouldn't have to target my own at all because you have to find, if you can, a basic land, land with a basic land type of each 5 sort of lands. Alright, so I don't really know it because that was just a flood game. I guess I'm gonna take the amulet here because I need to put something there and I'd rather have a creature than not. Okay. And here let me see, having 3 of those 5 mana cards in my hand to never hitting the 5th land. Okay, well this is at least a very good start. I'll play the Mind Worker, I guess, because it can attack for 2. And if there's no good attack, I can at least gain the life. This could be a race situation easily. They have the bounce spells and stuff like that. Get a paratrooper and then I can play the power blade on the following turn. They had no plays, okay. Maybe they had a counter spell. Wing commando, that's fine. Okay, good. So I'm just willing to take the trade here because I have the recommission here. I can attack for 5 and I assume they block the paratrooper and then I can bring it back. It will be a 2-3 and then I can make it into a 3-4 even. Okay. Actually, because I am going to not play the cavalry because there's no target for it, I should just do this. I can play a recommission and still have mana up for the Lorance escape. Huh. They're actually going to make it like this. I don't mind. I don't mind that trade at all. Oh, I should have... No, maybe I should have equipped, but then again I wanna keep the escape up, so... If they have like a prison sentence. Oh, that thing. I get to scry here. I don't need a second blue yet. I mean, if I had Teferi in my hand... Well, if I draw a Teferi, I hope I can find the second blue at some point. The Amulet might actually be a safer play now, because they might have a counter spell and this has an unearth. Sure, let's do this. They have the dig site here, by the way, which they can use if they have nothing else, but I guess that means I have a 6 power worth of creatures and they have nothing on the battlefield. They didn't want to have the bounce. Understandably, they have no board presence, so bounce is not doing much. I guess it does reset the counter there. But yeah, I do like the recommission. This is the kind of reanimating spell that feels very worth playing. Curate, they have 4 mana left. I guess it's time for me to... Well, especially because if they counter this, I can still equip the power blade with the planes. So let's see what happens now. They have something for sure. Disenchant on that thing. Okay, well that has unearthed, so it will come back at 4 mana. That gets a counter, it's gonna get an equipment as well. And now they really need to find something good. What bomber arrow mythic is gonna win the game for them, I mean. I guess there has to be something, but they need to find it. I mean, assuming their deck has one. They have multiple curates. I mean, that's three curates. I do understand that you will play curates in decks that have wing commandos, but it's still a lot of tempo loss. 2 mana to draw a card of each selection, of course. Yeah, they didn't, and still they didn't find what they needed there. Okay, so I haven't really used my bums that much. Well, I guess in one game I had the veteran, in one game I had the trenches, but it was the first game in this match where I just flooded out and this didn't really help. Desynchronize. Now I think I'll be happy with the setup. Yeah, there's still no reason for me to have a disenchant here. I don't actually have a lot of targets for it either. I just brought one, but I have to be careful with the disenchant and take flight. Although once I attack with this thing, it already draws a card, even if it gets disenchanted. So I might lose the creature in a surprising manner, but I will at least get a card from it. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna change anything. I like the deck as it is. Let's have a similar kind of good balanced lands and spells draw. Okay, that is fine. I have 2 5s in here and only 2 lands, so it can get awkward, but I wonder when I'm gonna play this Scatter Ray. Because I have a... Well, I'm happy about those lands anyway. So I can have 2 drop, 3 drop. Oh, maybe turn 4 sees a Scatter Ray. But they are on the play, so they can aggress here. No saving tricks there. Wing Commando and Wing Commando. Well, okay, I'm happy about those lands because I don't have this. I mean, actually, drawing 3 lands there is great with the 2 land keeper with 2 5-drops in my hand. But I can't block this thing because, of course, they can have pretty much anything and I just lose my guy. Are they considering not attacking? That's interesting. I'm not really attacking into it either. Yeah, no blocks. No, they actually... What's their game plan? Not racing anymore. They play another Wing Commando. I mean, I'm not going to trade here because I have the cavalry. Maybe I can scatter ray one of their plays now. But now they can attack with both. They will deal at least 4 and maybe more. Okay, I'm just countering anything at this point. The prowess trigger might mean they don't attack if they don't have a prowess trigger, but we'll see. They have definitely something because they have a priority stop there. Yeah, no blocks. Let's hope they don't have a scatter ray for my cavalry here. Okay, no such shenanigans. Okay, I can't really block because any trick makes this like a... I mean, the spell makes it a 3-3, but the trick of course makes it so that... Okay, they are gonna use their spells like that. How many of those spells are they gonna have there? I think I have to... I mean, if it's another bounce spell, it's... I can't raise them at this point if I'm unable to block. Maybe I can block with 2... No. They clearly had another trick there because they wouldn't have attacked with a potential 3-3. They have another way to make them more big. But do they still have 2 ways to make it big? Make those guys big? If it's another bounce spell, then playing this and equipping would be horrible. And then they attack for 6 and I lose the game. But can I win through a bounce spell? I don't think I can win through a bounce spell. Oh, I can't play the omelet because I won't win the race. Man, if they have a bounce spell, I'm gonna do this. I can double block maybe. Or maybe they have a counter spell or something. Because now, I mean, only thing I have left is this. I can't equip it though. Yeah, they clearly have something. So am I going to... I mean, any trick is gonna work for them, but I can't just keep taking damage. I'm gonna do it like this and regret my life choices very soon. Because they're gonna deal with the cavalry and then they eat the commando. Well, that doesn't actually deal with the cavalry. That's fine. That's a 1-for-1. Okay, that's acceptable. And I only took 3 there. Well, that's not fine. That I keep getting these. I can actually cancel that and maybe just first do this. Don't know if it matters to have 2 mana up. There's no. Okay, they actually had a scatter ray there. Well, I mean, I need to draw my good stuff now. I can't attack. This doesn't have vigilance. One of the moments where vigilance would actually be very good. And if they just keep having, I mean, yeah. I mean, this is all interaction there. And the 2 prowess things. I will lose. I can get 2 life here, but... Well, I guess I'm not exactly losing, because these can bring me... I assuming they have no prowess triggers, which is very unlikely. I can play these and equip it, but I don't have the mana to equip this thing, because it would cost 2. So I'm gonna only attack for 4 here. I have to main phase this thing, and all they need is a prowess trigger to make it... no, the other one, deal 3. But I guess if you draw 4 lands and then all interaction, and these specific 2 cards are your, yeah, I mean, look at this. They just, I mean, this ridiculous cantrip wins them the game here. But yeah, this was just, they drew exactly what they needed here, and then stop drawing lands. When I draw, I don't know, 3 lands, or 4 lands more than they. Alright. So it seems the 3-0s really await me. I haven't had a 3-0 result in a long while. Even though I have had good decks, but opponents have good decks too. Alright. 9-8 mana base. Well, then again, even if I had 2 Evolving Wilds, I could still have these starting hands. I have had them with decks that have multiple Evolving Wilds. Because this is a great hand if one of these planes was an island. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna draw either an island or a blue or a white spell. Or a planes. But I have, you know, a way to save time. What? They have a sentinel. This is not really... Okay, whatever. Anyway, I got my island, so now everything is fine. Did they miss their second land drop? What's going on? They played a pretty, you know, low impact card and they missed their land drop. Oh, I can make this into a 3-2 if they don't attack and don't have a block. Let's see if this works. It has protection from multicolored. I don't have more than 1 multicolored card in the deck. The sign was uncommon. I guess if they have like a deadly riposte here, this thing dies. I have nothing to... Well, they didn't have it. So, all is well. They were holding something because they had priority stops, but what can it be? Maybe the spell that makes this indestructible? Laurence Escape. Oh, that's a nasty one. I kinda want to use this category, but I mean, they might not even play anything, and this is better to play on the battlefield right now, and in future equipping it will be cheap. And I can, you know, scatter ray something else on a later point in time. Yeah, they have that, but they get to scry and block 5 damage. They scry to top, so they will have an answer here. If that is the pacifism or the blue won't untap thing. I can actually get rid of it with Soul Partition. I can just target my own guy, recast it, and you know, equip it again. I think I will need to use my blue mana for a Scatter Ray, but depends what they do, of course. This can also fly by targeting itself. Costs 3 mana, but I can do it and still leave my instants up. Okay, so maybe so they didn't attack. That means they are planning to block, right? What is it going to be? I'm not gonna play Take Flight to open mana. I can partition this thing if they have a trick, or I can just do like this. You know what? Oh, I actually should have attacked first because they might have their, you know, tap a creature, the counter spell. Yeah, I should have attacked first and then target, but oh well, that's fine. Okay, so they had their third mana, but they have not played anything yet. Wow. That's okay. Now they have fourth. Something for me to Scatter Ray, maybe. I can also activate the In the Trenches when I have 6 mana. Pretty sweet Anthem effect. It's also strictly better Glorious Anthem. Dragon Engine double strike. Yeah, let's maybe. It has Unearth, but it has, you know, 2 red for Unearth. That card is totally playable if you can't even unearth it, because 2/2 double strike for 3 mana is an above average 3-drop. Okay, they had no other things to do. Now again, I had a very creature-like draw, but come on, this is 12 cards I drew or so in this game, and my deck has 12 creatures. That is like not quite a third of them, but still in 12 cards I should be seeing at least you know, between 3 and 4 creatures, I think, without doing the exact math, but I would estimate it's between 3 and 4 creatures I should be seeing, and I saw now only 1. So the Discipline, Loran's Escape. I'm pretty sure the Discipline should be just the Loran's Escape, but I want to give this thing a chance, so I saw so little of their deck that I'm gonna just use the same deck. Maybe I can actually see the Teferi at some point, because I haven't seen it, haven't even drawn it, and then been unable to cast. Hey, they conceded by the music, didn't they? Okay, so they just didn't want to play. Okay. Why not? I got another 2-1, which wouldn't be so, you know, and I would be happier about the 2-1 if there was those, you know, that again the game they had a little bit of too many land draws, but what can you do? So I never got to cast Teferi. This is amazing limited card. I mean, some planeswalkers are of course great bombs in limited, some are not, but this one is definitely. Because the draw card and well, maybe the passive ability alone, this just ramps up loyalty so quickly that it's very hard to attack this thing to death unless you are really, you know, the player with Teferi is really behind in board. Then you can just, you know, make a creature that has a passive ability that doesn't care about the existence of Teferi, so it will just grow and grow. So the token is basically a must-kill target. It gets at least 1/1/1 counter each turn because, you know, draw step. So shame I couldn't use it, and I never had this thing to pump my guys. That's it. With the low creature count and, well, 10 soldiers still, I don't know how big of an effect it would have had. But of course the deck is just amazing. I mean, maybe not amazing because I do think I have some filler cards. I would rather have better 2-drops here, and maybe some 4-drops like the white common, the artifact creature with Unearth that come, you know, the 3/1 that comes with a token. They are both soldiers, so that kind of stuff. But this seems like a better than average deck still. So that was it. I will see you in the next video, I guess. Well, I don't guess, I hope, sincerely. But yeah, another 2-1. Hopefully I can get a 3-1 at some point. Sorry, 3-0 at some point. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.